Welcome back, everybody, finally, to the third episode of the Forza Inter Forums Podcast, the only podcast in the world that matters. This is the third installment. It took a while, but we were all busy. But we're finally back, and we have a complete new cast this time around. They're podcast virgins, so to say. And yeah, the one you just heard laughing is ScottishInterista. So, how are you?
Hello, the resident Scot and thief.
What? Oh my god, I'm really gonna have trouble understanding you.
Oh god. If it gets too bad, tell me.
Accent trouble.
Yeah, but I'll just try my best. Otherwise, when you realize I'm just gonna say yeah and or nothing, that's just when I didn't understand what you were saying. So
Okay.
So yeah, how are you, man? How's it going?
I'm good, yeah. It's a great start to the new year. Going well with us.
Yeah.
That was a thumbs up there,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And the other person you just heard laugh in the background is the one known as Andysam on the forums. Hello to you. How are you?
Hey, hello. Fine. Ready to speak a little about
Oh,
Inter.
yeah. I mean, we all are burning to speak about it. So, because you haven't been on the podcast before, I'll just ask some standard questions. Let's start with in alphabetical order with Andysam. So, when did you start to like Inter, and do you still like it? Because I surely don't. And how do you feel about the players? Who's your favorite all-time player, and who's your favorite player now? Stuff like that.
Well, I started to like Inter since I was a baby because my dad is a big fan.
That's cool.
So he passed it to me because that's what he calls like a good education.
It is. He's completely true. That's true.
So yeah, and when I was very little, I didn't watch it a lot because I was like, no, why I'm going to watch football. But then I started watching it, and I fall in love. It's not just like a family thing, but I really fall in love with Inter, which is sad.
Yeah.
And but that's it. And about favorite player, but well, there's Zanetti, of course. And I really love Milito.
We all do. But how about in the squad now? Who do you appreciate most?
Probably Handanovic.
I think that's everyone's answer right now. Handanovic.
Yeah.
And so where are you from though?
Oh, I'm from
Do you
Mexico.
support the national team a lot, or?
No, I don't. No, I really
well,
don't.
I'm the same. I don't support my national team. Instead, I support Brazil, which is completely absurd. But whatever.
Yeah.
I like the Netherlands.
Well.
So that makes no sense. It's not even in the same.
But they have good
country.
players, and they gave us Snyder and stuff, so that's pretty good. Okay, well, that's all we really need to know. Off to the Scottish one.
That's a different profile already. That one was taken when I got in, so I'm not the Scottish one
What?
yet. Yeah, there's already a profile called Scottish one.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was going for.
Oh, sorry. Well, then I'll have to apologize to the Scottish one. ScottishInterista is here, not Scottish one, of course. So, how do you started fencing Inter and so on?
Well, the first tournament I remember was Euro 2000. I was 4 at the time, so just a little talent, but yeah. I remember watching that, getting quite into football. From that, it was obviously English, but then Channel 4 had a show, I can't remember what it was called, but it was all about Italian football. And from there I started enjoying Ronaldo.
Yeah.
He was the reason I started to like football, and Inter, and then he left.
But he left, like you mean. When he was good, he left. But he's still underrated. Like, the fact that he's not LGI, I'm fucking gonna go riot for that. I don't think he is. No, he's not. And like, I don't know, I'm gonna crucify someone. We'll see about that. And so I suppose Ronaldo is your favorite all-time player, or not really? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Good choice, by the way. And what about now? Like, I mean, there's not a lot to like, but...
Yeah. Well, I've got to say, at the moment, I appreciate Handanovic the most, but I still like Icardi. I love that cold-blooded finisher that he's got.
He's just but he just feels like such a spoiled brat sometimes.
I know, but I can't help but love him.
In a sexual way, of course. Yeah.
Definitely, of course.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all that, and I am myself, and you know everything you need to know about me, so that's good. So did you watch the Champions League right before this?
Yeah, certainly makes you miss being in it. Forgetting the good teams that play actually well. I mean, PSG were... I wouldn't ever want to play PSG, not with, for example, the games we played last couple games. It's just, it'd be a massacre, bloodbath.
And
so
true, totally true. Like, when I saw them play, I was like, we're on a completely different level. Not in a good way. Andysam, did you watch the Champions League tonight, or?
Yes, I also watched that match with PSG.
How did you feel about it?
I like it. It was a fun match to see. I really like Paris Saint-Germain's team. I think they're really good.
Back in the day, I really used to think there's just like this bot team who have no spirit, but they're gelling and they're becoming a proper team, like in my books. And of course, did you see that world-class free kick, from Ibrahimovic?
Will be mental about that.
It was just like, that's only what world-class strikers can do. That was the definition of
it. It is world-class affection.
No, but I think those games were important for me just to realize how bad we're playing and what good football is, especially like PSG played so good. Like, I don't know, they have a philosophy in their play style, and that was impressive to me. Maybe if you could choose one player from PSG to join Inter right now, which one would you take?
Well, Dylan and I were having this discussion in the thread.
Yeah.
I'd take Lucas.
Yeah.
I know we were close to getting him for a couple seasons ago when he first came to Europe. Obviously, Man U and PSG came in, but I would still love him. Like, he just seems such a good player. Although saying that, I don't know how he'd fit in his team, and his team could probably do with variety more.
But don't you feel like, because he's a winger essentially, don't you feel like he wouldn't add a lot to the Inter team right now? Yeah,
that's the thing. Like,
okay, well,
you'd probably want to take variety over him at the moment.
That would be my take, definitely Verratti, because not only because of the player he is right now, but he's just going to be so much better in the future. Definitely. Andysam, who would you pick?
I will also pick Verratti.
But he just feels a lot like Motta to me, in the best ways possible.
Yeah, well, yeah. He's definitely a good player.
And say from the Chelsea side, who would you pick from them?
I'd probably take Willian. Again, another winger. Not what we need, but he's a class free kick taker and he plays well. Not much more you can ask.
Andysam, what about you?
I really don't know. I last season I liked Hazard a lot, but right now I'm not sure who.
Yeah, I mean Chelsea's having a bad season anyway, so they're just getting up again. But I agree that Willian is like the only class player right there, the only one who just is performing on the like consistent like basis. Okay, so maybe because before we get like into that really into that nightmare that is Inter, how has your like 2016 been so far? What are you looking forward in this year? And yeah, maybe just Andysam, just share your thoughts on this.
Well, this 2016, I only really want to finish my thesis, and this year has been kind of bad. Like Inter is my life.
I agree. Like I'm always in a bad mood for a week if Inter doesn't perform, and that basically means I've been in a bad mood for like 2 months now. So
I'll take you.
How about you, ScottishInterista?
I don't know, like, I of course want to say it's improved, but yeah, I don't think we're ready for Europe quite yet. So, but personally, I don't know, I'd be quite happy just finishing second year of uni.
That's good, like.
Getting decent in that, going away in 2 years' time, so
that's
to a foreign country. So
really, where are you
that's
going?
the ideal. It's not decided yet. Depends on my grades.
What are you hoping for?
I don't know. I kind of want to go to New Zealand.
Zealand, you want to visit Sean?
Sean, yeah. Although I knew he was planning to come to Scotland, but I don't know when. It's still happening.
I'm not sure you want to visit him anyway. He's like there's rumors that he's a racist. I don't know.
Oh well. He'll fight uni for that.
Like, it's just rumors. I don't know. You can it's like statements from Pimp that he is very racist against Albanians. But true. But yeah, that sounds exciting because for me it's been like really a bad year so far. I mean, Inter-wise, I don't have to tell you about that, but otherwise, I don't know. I had to study for exams, and I'm not feeling my major. I want to switch, kinda, which would put me back 2 years again, and I don't know. So I'd rather not talk about that. And I guess let's move on to the depressing part, like the nightmare of January 2016 up until like mid-February with the Fiorentina game. Let's just go to the Fiorentina game first. How did you feel about it? What were the thoughts you could take of it? Andysam, I guess, just go and tell us what you want us to tell.
Well, I wasn't even angry or anything about the match because like I already am like, we are not going to do anything good anymore. So I was like, oh, okay, we lost. But the big problem we had is the midfield.
Definitely.
They really can't do anything, and that way that's the reason why we don't score and all that. And sometimes I even think that playing Palacio a little bit more in the midfield will be fine, like to try to create something.
I do agree there because Palacio, he's just such a hardworking player, and in the Fiorentina game he was all over the place. He was even taking like the role of a fullback at some point, which is an abysmal work from a tactical point from Mancini, but I won't go into that. So what are your like initial thoughts on ScottishInterista for the Fiorentina game?
Well, obviously we've got to improve from that because, I mean, I only watched the highlights later on because my internet gave out 10 minutes into it. But I was following it on a live feed and It didn't sound good.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it seems you got lucky just to get a goal. I'm not too sure about the sending offs, whether they were.
We're gonna talk about. We can talk about that
Actually,
afterwards. But like, maybe first, like, what do you feel about the game, especially about that game? Maybe.
Fiorentina is one of our direct rivals. We should be beating them, but we've been beaten 4-1 and 2-1 by them. It's just not good enough.
4-1 at home, especially.
That was painful. That was bad.
Yeah, I agree there. Like, I don't know, but at this point, I'm like, up until Fiorentina, we can turn this around. If we win this, we make a statement, and we can go up again. But right now, if you look at it, like Juventus made something like 19 points or something like that, while we made, I don't know, like 9 or something, which is ridiculous. We were like plus 6 points before the Lazio game, and now they're how many points ahead of us? Like 9 or something. It's so ridiculous.
2 months ago we were top of the table, so let that sink in.
So maybe touching on that, do you think like the first half of the season up until like the Lazio game was just a fluke, or like did we deserve to be where we were, the way we were playing, or was it just luck, or what do you feel about that? I don't know, Andy, Sam, go.
Well, I think we deserve to be there, but at the same time, it was obvious that we were not going to be able to keep that going. I mean, all the change that Mancini did, one match after the other, that was not going to keep working out. Actually, it worked more than I thought it was going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, you're totally right there. I think it was deserved to some point, but like you could see through it that this was gonna crumble sometime. ScottishInterista, how do you feel about it?
Well, I don't know. It seems like we've lost. At the start, we seemed to be so well gelled as a team. It seems we've lost some of that after Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Something must have happened at that Christmas party, I'm sure.
It feels like after the Lazio game that there was that big argument in the group with Jovetic.
It was after the Lazio game, yeah.
So I don't know if that's disrupted the locker room or somehow, but we just don't seem to be a coherent team anymore. And I think that's been a major downfall. I wouldn't go as far to say it was a fluke the first half of the season. We definitely deserved to win some of those games, and it reminded me a lot of the Walter Mazzarri era, where we would just grind out, we would just defend, except we wouldn't score and we wouldn't get the result. But whereas under Mancini, we got the 1-0 scraping it.
Yeah, but even that has been like, we can't even win 1-0 now anymore. I just think, like, I know exactly when we were on really good, like, we were winning a lot back then. And as I've told on a podcast before, my mother follows the results as well because of me. And she always was happy for the wins, but I always told her, like, I'm not liking this. Like, this can't go on forever. This will break at some point, and it's exactly what happened. And I think a lot of people on the forums like were foreseeing this, that it's not going to hold up. While I mean, others just got caught up in the moment and started believing in like Scudettos and I don't know, whatever. But yeah, like, do you think we'll ever get out of this crisis that we had for the past 2 months, or are we just gonna stay like where we are, like Europa League places, or?
Well, I think we could do it, but I don't have a lot of hope.
Or Inter fans rarely have nowadays. But yeah, but how do you feel, ScottishInterista? Can we get out of this, or?
I don't know. Like, I think we can. Like, I reckon we'll get out of it before the end of the season. It's just whether we get out of it quick enough so that we can actually save the rest of the season. Because at the moment, it's difficult to foresee Champions League at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're in third up till this weekend, but we haven't played like it.
Yeah, we haven't played like a Champions League
This last
side.
couple results have been, quite frankly, outrageous. Like, was it? We lost against Sassuolo.
Yeah, we drew against Carpi. We lost against Sassuolo.
And all the results have been in the 90th minute, apart from like Lazio, which was 82nd or something. And that's a lack of team mentality, which is something Mancini should have done something about after Lazio. Right. But obviously, it's gone down the shitter.
Maybe, how do you think the statement of changing coaches is ridiculous, or do you take it in consideration?
Like, at this moment in time, there's no point changing coaches. Like, there's still a season to be saved, but I reckon Mancini can do it. There's no point bringing in a third coach on the payroll. We've already got Mazzari, we've already got Mancini. I don't think we can afford a third one. It's, again, to do with fair play. I've no idea how we are in that. But I can't see us, because especially with Mancini being the second highest paid
coach in Italy,
manager. Yeah, and Mazzari wasn't cheap
he's
either.
like, we had like the two highest paid coaches in Italy at one point, which is ridiculous. But
it is concerned how crap both of them are, or both of them have been. But I do reckon Mancini's the person to turn it around. Whether he stays beyond this season, I'm not sure. But I reckon he can still get his team winning. He done it with Man City after they had a rough patch, won the league. So I reckon it's the season's not over yet, and I do think people have, especially on our form, they've downsized their chances. But it's only February. We've still got another 3 months to go.
Yeah, but like, people feel like the last 2 months have been very symptomatic of what Inter has been doing for like the past year, and it's just showing now the results really.
Yeah, it's typical Inter, but you've got to believe we can break the cycle, because there's nothing else you can do. Like, I hope Mancini sorts us out, and I reckon he can sort us out. But I don't think bringing in another coach is the way to fix everything at the moment. I reckon it would just demoralise
the team,
the players even more. I don't reckon they might get them playing better for a while, but I don't reckon that spike of form would last longer than the end of this. Halfway into next season, which is what we've seen under Mancini.
True. Okay. How do you feel, like, Andysam? Would you fire coaches right now or change coaches, or not really?
Well, no, not really. First, because we really can't pay, and it wouldn't make any sense, I think, just sacking Mancini now. But I'm not sure neither that I would want to keep him for a season, because I don't think he did a lot of good things. Really, he really messed up our midfield. And I don't think he has fixed the things that are really wrong. We don't have proper fullbacks. They are all bad.
Yeah, they're all just mediocre. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't do anything about that. and it doesn't seem like he likes them neither.
Yeah, he's changing them all the time. He just gets me frustrated. But say, like, I know this is not gonna happen, but say, Troyer announces like we're gonna get in Mourinho next week. What would you think about that?
I don't know.
Yes.
I'll let you go.
Yeah. Okay. That I hope we have a lot of money, like keeping it somewhere, because Mourinho is going to want to change all the team again.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll make a fundraiser and like.
Maybe through the internet.
Yeah,
fans.
I mean that's all we have right now. But yeah, how would you feel like Scotchin? He says like Mourinho, here he comes next week.
I don't know. During his last couple of seasons, he hasn't. Last seasons of each club, he's shown a bit of like paranoia. I don't reckon it'd be the right club to suit him right now. I reckon he's a big club where he can prove himself once again in the Champions League, which doubt we're getting. I want him, but I don't reckon he'd do as much good at the moment. He needs a lot of expensive players, which we can't afford.
Yeah.
And
it's true.
Yeah.
What about say Simeone comes in? What about him?
Oh, I'd love him. I like what done with Atletico. I reckon he'd be great for Icardi.
Oh yeah.
Get him playing well. I could see him doing quite well with our team. He knows Miranda. I reckon he'd do wonders with Kondogbia as well.
He's really good with young players. Like he's
done that with Koke.
With all the strikers basically.
Sure. Got Costa
Aguero,
playing well.
Falcao. Everyone.
Although I don't know if they were a bit before him. Maybe, I'm not sure. I can't quite remember when he came in.
So what would you say, Andysam, to Simeone? Say, like he says in the summer, we're gonna get Simeone.
Yeah, I think I'd like that. I love Mourinho, but I think I'd like to have Simeone more at this point with this Inter. And I think he also will be really good. I mean, the coach he is now will be really good for Serie A.
Definitely. He plays like very defensive, counter-attacking football. And he knows how to impose his games on like small teams, which Mancini clearly can't. Like we sometimes have 70% like of the ball, but we can't create anything. He just seems to me like he lost a lot of his because back in the day he just used to be a safe bet. He's not gonna get you like the triple like Mourinho did, but he's just gonna get you like the Serie A. He's gonna get you somewhere in the Champions League. But now he just seems way more clueless. I don't know.
I think his time at Galatasaray's like brought him down. I don't know what happened there. Whether it shook his confidence or something, but I don't reckon he's been the manager he was. Or it could have happened at Man City, how he lost came second in the league. I think there were rumours of the dressing room going against him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean he's shown previously what a good coach he is. He's shown that he can get teams playing well. Before he came to us, that Man City team, before he got them, was nothing.
They were pretty bad.
And
even though they had a great squad, and that's why I'm wondering, like, he got a lot of good players this season, but he just can't make them work. And he got the players he wanted as well. It's just bizarre.
I think that's the thing that that's the thing that frustrates a lot of people on our forum is he's got the players he wanted, but he's just not doing anything with them. Like, I can't remember who posted it, but it was something like 45 million is sitting on the bench in strikers, and we can't score a goal.
Yeah, I think it was in the Sampdoria thread somewhere.
Yeah.
Someone saying, just give me a sec.
That we should put all the strikers, right? In the team.
I mean, I don't know. Like, at this point, I don't care. I just felt the same way, like, about Kondogbia. He got him for so much money, and he didn't play him up until, like, 3 weeks ago. He barely even played him at all.
Yeah.
And speaking about Kondogbia, how do you feel about his 2-match ban for clapping?
It's the Schneider case all over again, isn't it? Like, when Schneider got banned for clapping, like, I don't understand it personally.
The clapping part or the red card part?
Red card for it, like, I don't understand. Sure, give him a yellow or something, but there's no need to send a guy off just for clapping sarcastically. It's making his opinion known.
We have to say that on the really bad refereeing, like, it wasn't like it was somehow controversial, that the refereeing was bad, and he just stated his opinion on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it should have been that long.
Yeah. Andysam, what were you about to say?
Yeah, I'm kind of divided about what Kondogbia did, because the refereeing was bad, but at the same time, like, they weren't playing well, so, like, just keep your head down, you know, like, you're not neither good enough. And I normally don't mind, and I get angry about refereeing a lot of times, but like, I can feel good or bad for them when this happens, when they aren't even playing good.
That's true, because say, like, we were having a great game and the referee was ruining it, like, then I would feel like more for Kondogbia. But like that, you're right. I mean, maybe he just should have played better from the beginning.
Yeah.
But still, it's just like 2 matches. And it's not even like he was such a bad referee. And I mean, we basically, like, gave 3 points to Fiorentina. I mean, that sending off of Tejas, or whatever he's pronounced. He's like, that was so unfair. It was such a clean tackle, and he got a second yellow for that, and that could have cost us the game. I mean, it's not to say that it didn't, but maybe it did cost us the game.
Yeah, I mean, sure, we weren't playing well, but there's no real excuse for that bad. That amount of bad calls.
And even now, I mean, like, what shall we do? Like, Medel is suspended, Kondogbia is suspended. We're just gonna have to play, like, with Brozovic, Melo, and Gnokuri, or whatever his name is.
I don't know.
Brozovic, Melo, and Mancini, third substitution. They're gonna play on the midfield.
Yes, I mean, I don't know how, and we can tie this in with the next topic, like, about the transfers. How do you feel about not getting a midfielder in this transfer window?
Well, at the beginning, I kind of thought we didn't need one. And then after these few matches, I was like, oh my God, we're going to die without a proper midfielder. Someone who can actually create something there. And I don't really know. Well, Eder hasn't done anything like for me to say, yeah, I'm so glad that we...
I mean, granted, he's only been here like for 3 games, but still, I mean, Eder was our only incoming transfer, and while I think he's a good player, I just don't get why we got him. Like, we have so many forwards, so many good forwards, and then we just don't get a midfielder, which we clearly lack.
Yeah, and we sell Guarin as well, who isn't a fan favourite.
Yeah, I mean,
if we hadn't got a midfielder, if I'd known we wouldn't get a midfielder, I don't think we should have sold him. Obviously, hindsight's 2020, but
yeah, but it's so frustrating. That's what it's always been like. This past 2 months, it's not even angry. It's just like I was so frustrated at everything because I couldn't get almost any decision that they did. I mean, sure, there were some moments when we won at Napoli. It was a great game. But other than, and I also don't get that. I mean, you go away from home and you win, like in Napoli, which is one of the hardest destinations to win a football game.
Yeah, like we haven't won there
in 18 years, something like that. I don't know. Something ridiculous like that. Last time we won was on the Copa, like in penalties, but that doesn't count. Like properly winning, it's like so long, and I don't get how the team didn't get like any morale boost from it. The next game was like the Sassuolo loss, I think, after that.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
that's just bizarre to me how we couldn't win that game. By the way, the Sassuolo coach, what was his name again? Like Di Francesco? He's really something to look out for. He's really good.
Yeah, I know a lot of people want him if Mancini goes. He's an option, but I don't know how he'd do in a big club. Obviously, if he comes and there's a chance to get Berardi with him, I think take it in a heartbeat.
Wait, isn't Berardi like Juve tight though?
I don't think anyone knows quite truly, but I know he is an Inter fan, so there's always a chance.
Yeah, but I don't know who it was. There was like a player who also said he's an Inter fan, but it doesn't matter. Which one was it? Can't seem to remember, but I don't know. At some point, Messi said he's an Inter fan. I'm sure, but
everyone's
an Inter fan, yeah, in our eyes. But it's so terrible. Like, and do you feel like we maybe sold too many players or not sold specifically, but like we got rid of too many players for the season?
Well, I'm not sure because I know that Dodo is on a loan. I'm not sure if it's obligation or option or anything at all. Same with Alvarez and
Ranocchia, yeah. Well, Alvarez, he should be sold. Like,
yeah, he's sold.
Ranocchia is on a loan, as far as I know, without obligation.
Yeah, right.
He's gonna come back. Yeah. While I think Dodo is on with an option, if I'm not mistaken.
Because it doesn't seem much point in us loaning them out if they're not going to buy them. We could have used Ranocchia sometime soon. I can see in the future now that we've only got, is it 3 first-team centre-backs? JJ, Murillo and Miranda. I can see that coming to bite us in the ass.
Well, Medel can play centre-back as well.
Yeah.
And according to Mancini, D'Ambrosio also can play.
The tactical genius, Mancini said so. It's true. Yeah, but also we didn't get like fullbacks. We still have way too many who aren't good at all, and and then I just don't get how we sold Guarin, but didn't get any replacement. Like, how we only have 5 midfielders for 3 positions. Take in like suspensions and injuries, and we're left with 3 players, say for 3 positions.
Yeah, clearly wasn't thought out. that far in ahead. They obviously assumed we were getting Soriano, which we didn't. And if we get him in, or Banega, if we get either of them in come June, August, I don't know. It could work.
I don't think those are the players we need though, because in my eyes, I think they would have been a good fix for this Inter. This is right now, but say we would have gotten to Champions League, Banega's not going to do a lot for us. Either is Soriano.
Yeah, I don't know. I still reckon we'd a Thiago Motta player. I mean, I'm pretty sure every team in the world could do with one of them.
Yeah, but who do you want to get?
Yeah, that's the problem. There's very few of them.
Both of them are sitting at PSG, it seems.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's just what did you think maybe about other transfers, not interrelated?
I really don't understand the China thing, because why everyone is going to China? I mean, okay,
It's all about the money.
They are so...
It's all about the money. It always is.
Yeah, but they are so young players that will do more things, and they go to China, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Guarin and Ramirez, for example, I understood, because I was like, well, they're kind of done. That's the best they can do is what they've done until now. But Luis Adriano, was it, right? I don't...
Yeah. Did he actually go?
Yeah. Oh, no, not Luis Adriano. It was Teixeira or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I didn't get him at all. He had offers from Liverpool, which would have been great for him.
Yeah, him and Coutinho together.
Yeah, but...
And Firmino.
Yeah, I mean... I don't get the China thing as well from the player's perspective. I get it from the Chinese league, from their perspective. I mean, they really have China has been doing really well on the market, and of course now they want to invest in cultural things, which is football. But rather than that, I think they should have just invested in a proper youth system and brought in youth coaches and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's just the quick fix, right?
Yeah. They're doing what the Middle Eastern countries did, except they're doing it with players that are actually decent.
Yeah.
Giving them a lot of money and attracting them, but they're doing it with players who've still got a couple of years. They could maybe do it for a couple of years more, which is just odd.
It is. That's true. That's true. Well, anyway, I'd like to move to this part where we just take one player specifically, talk about him, how we feel about him in the last games, how we feel about him generally over the season and for the future. And this week, I thought I'd take Murillo, because he's been rather hot and cold, because he was one of the most praised players in the first half of the season, and now people just don't care about him a lot, and they make all those 40 million jokes, and what the fuck do I know? How do you feel about Murillo as a player right now? Whoever wants to go first, just speak out.
I like him. He's got a bright future. I reckon he's going to become... hopefully he becomes a world-class defender, and hopefully he does it for us, and we don't jump the gun on him and sell him like we did with Kovacic.
Although Kovacic is not really showing his worth in Madrid.
I don't know, we got good money for him, but I'd still rather we hadn't sold him when we did. I reckon if he gets the right leadership, if he can become a good leader for our defence, but we've seen that with Vinocchia. That doesn't always happen. So I can see him becoming a great player like Icardi, maybe vice captain to Icardi if they both stay. But of course, that's all up to if we make Champions League this season. Who gets sold, who doesn't, and from then on.
How do you feel about Murillo, Andysam?
Well, I also think he has like a very bright future, and he can really be great. But I'm not entirely like, if we can sell him, I wouldn't mind a lot if we can find, someone else to come, because he's not as reliable as we need right now. Like, sometimes he's just great, and sometimes he's, Inter, right?
True, but as you say, like, opposed to, say, Miranda, who really is showing every game that he's really good. He's just hot and cold, as I said before. For how much would you sell him, though? Like, say Barcelona comes with something like 25 million. Would you have sold him?
Probably. Like, he's a defender. Obviously, they're a lot cheaper than attackers are. 25 million for a 23-year-old, I think, is great.
You would have
value.
sold. Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah, for that money, I think so. And especially if we don't get Champions League, I think maybe. But if he keeps going, I don't think we will get 25 million for him.
You won't.
So I don't think he'll be gone, and I don't want him to leave.
Yeah. For how much would have you sold him, Andysam?
I think 25.
Really?
30.
What's wrong with you? I got my standards way up in like 45 or something like.
Well, that'd be ideal, right? But Inter is really bad at selling players a big price.
That's true, but Murillo, like, especially in the first half of the season, he was really good. And so I thought like 40 was really appropriate at that time. Now I'd be more towards 30, but 25 not quite.
Well, I'm pretty sure 40 million would make him the most expensive defender ever.
David Luiz was like for 60 back in the day. Yeah.
Was he?
I can check up on that. But I'm pretty sure he sold for that much. David Luiz.
David Luiz was £40 million, so he'd be second.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's quite up there yet.
Well, but David Luiz for that money, it was crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone can make this crazy transfers. Like, Inter never manages to sell someone for that sum. Bar Kovacic. I mean, Kovacic is like the exception where we made a huge amount of money. But other than that, we sell our players like for peanuts all the time.
Yeah. We don't. We're not the best at selling. It was like Schneider.
Oh, Schneider, like we talked about that like in the last podcast. It's like
Cesar, obviously.
Even Maicon to some degree.
Yeah, didn't we pay him to go to Man City?
It's just incredibly stupid. I don't know, and we got a whole new management and everything, and it's still not working. It's just, I know maybe the podcast is sounding really like pessimistic and frustrated, but it really is like that. I'm at a point where I have really become indifferent to what Inter does, which is the thing I never wanted to become. I'm like, I don't even care what's happening anymore, because nothing good is ever gonna come out of this club anyway. They always get our hopes up at like mid-season just to crush them from Stramaccioni up until this point. And I've become so I'm like to when it happened this season, I was like, well, there we go again. I mean, whatever, it happened every year. And it's so frustrating, and I'm becoming really indifferent to the point where I feel like maybe I'm not going to be a fan of this team at some point, because it's dragging me down, like, personally, to be a fan of this team, really. I'm not even joking, like, I'm constantly in a bad mood. I'm constantly in a bad mood of this. I know I had to, like, study for exams, but after the results, I was like, oh, what am I doing this for anyway? Because, as you may or may not know, my dream was, like, to be the medic of Inter. And I was like, why should I be the medic for this shit team anyway? And I don't know, like, I'm at a point where I'm almost, like, giving up. I know I won't, but sometimes I feel like, you know what, maybe you just should, like, not watch Inter for, like, 6 months.
Well, see, the thing is, I always remember it was always worse under Mazzari.
I don't know if it was, though.
I don't think I'll ever get as bad as it was under him again. So, yeah, there's always that, I think. I got through the Mazzari era. I can get through anything they want to throw at me.
I don't know, like, I can only take that much Mazzaris and Mancinis. I don't know.
Yeah, it's bad to have them back to back, but
like,
I don't know. At least we're getting something out of Mancini, whereas Mazzari, it was
I don't know,
awful.
like, we're playing really terrible with Mancini, really, like, we don't have any game plan. I don't know what we're trying to do, if we're playing with crosses, if we're trying to, like, break in the middle from the defenses or whatever. We're just not doing anything under him. It reminds me of, like, Ranieri, of his, like, 4-4-2, where we're doing nothing. And we're just like, how the fuck is Ranieri first in the Premier League with Leicester? It annoys me so much. I was like, what is he doing anyway? It seems like everyone who just goes away from Inter just, like, does good. And it just seems like there's this negative aura around this whole Inter thing. And everyone who just comes in here becomes terrible at everything he does. I bet, like, they can't even eat properly because of that. It's something like that.
That's the problem. That we're not feeding them properly.
Probably.
Or maybe we are feeding them, like, too good, like they're getting fat.
You know, I actually thought none of this exactly, but as I saw the match and how, like, the Champions League match, and Hazard was, like, subbed out, and he got, like, a jacket which really wasn't comfy. And I thought back to, like, the jackets Aurel plays, which are, like, the best jackets ever. What the fuck are we doing? Giving them all this comfort for nothing. We should, like, give them no jackets and let them freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, because at some point I was blaming only Mancini, but I feel like the players don't care anymore to some degree.
Again, that comes back to the falling out
I
was talking about after Lazio. I think that had a bigger effect than anyone's really discussed. Obviously, we can only speculate because we've not got sources inside the dressing room. But since then, we've just not looked a cohesive unit.
Yeah, I agree.
Which we were before.
And this may haunt us. Like, I don't know. I'm really ranting a lot here because I'm at that time of the season again. Just like girls have their time of the month, like Inter fans have that time of the season somewhere in between, where everything's just shit. But anyway, let's look forward for once. What do you expect out of this Sampdoria game? It was my first thread I ever opened with the Sampdoria game, and my description was "Who cares anyway?" because I don't. What do you expect of the game? Do you think we will win? Who do you think Mancini will field? Tactics, I don't know.
I'm going to go for an optimistic 3-1 to us. Icardi scoring twice and Eder scoring as well. Not quite sure who'll score for them. Probably Alvarez. No luck.
Probably he'll make like he'll run.
After Ronaldo chopping our entire midfield. Yeah.
That doesn't sound too improbable, to be honest.
No, it's not.
And like, who would you field?
I don't know. Like, the main problem at this moment is our midfield. I'd like to see Lalic get more. And even though I said Eder would score, I want to see an up front of Icardi and Jovetic again, because I reckon they've got more to offer.
Especially Jovetic. Jovetic is a top-class striker, and he was good in like the first 3 games, and then he faded.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd like to see a front 3, preferably in a 4-3-1-2, because I reckon to try that.
That would be great. I think that's a really good. Like, if you play Icardi and Eder as forwards with Laic behind them and the midfield, I mean, we don't have a lot of choices in the midfield anyway, so.
Yeah,
I like that formation. I always thought that would be the best thing, but also maybe you can't really bench Palacio after the performance.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, he played off his skin.
What would you change, Andysam, in this game?
Well, 4-3-1-2 sounds really nice, but I don't think Mancini is going to do that. So I think like I said at the beginning, I think I'd like to play Palacio on the midfield, and then bring probably Laic in. I mean, the same formation, but with Palacio.
So you would play Palacio behind the strikers.
Yes, because I don't know, he can do more than the people we have.
That's true.
I mean, and that way, because he can't really score anymore, like he's old or something.
He seems.
So maybe he can do better contribution.
He also seems like scared to finish sometimes, which is really weird. Like, he had, not in this game, but in the game before. What was it?
Verona?
And it was like he had such good scoring opportunities, which he just didn't take, and made some passes. It felt like he didn't have like the hunger to score goals anymore.
Yeah, lack of confidence maybe in his abilities.
But what scoreline do you predict, Andysam, in that case?
I don't know. I was joking with a friend earlier, and I told her that we were going to lose 1-0 with a goal from a header from Ranocchia. But I hope it doesn't happen.
Okay, but that's what you really think. So, for me, I pretty much like, at this point, I don't care. Just do what you want. Like, try something new. I don't care. I mean, really, I'm really a bit indifferent to this game, so to say. But I'll stay optimistic as ever and say like 3-0. I hope, like, for us, of course. And I hope Icardi scores, because he just needs to score, like, for himself. And I feel like when Icardi scores, like, the team spirits just gets up. And other than that, I don't know. He's gonna be suspended anyway. Yeah. Apart from that, like whatever they want. But really, I don't really care. And after that, we'll have the Juventus game, right?
Oh God, do we?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And how do you guys feel about, because say Juventus wins their game against Bologna, if they win against us, they're going to equalize our 17 win streak in the league.
Yeah, that's awful.
But yeah, do you feel like maybe we can stop this, or do you feel like Bologna is more likely to stop that?
That's right, Bologna probably. Yeah, we've been shipping goals left, right and centre, so I can't see us keeping a clean sheet against them, and I can't see us scoring against them. So unless things drastically improve between now and then...
It's 2 weeks, it's not going to improve that much. So.
Yeah. I seen it being it's not going to go well. Although they do have Champions League before then.
Yeah, against Bayern, so maybe...
Bayern
if you could do us a favour to
just
smash them away like 7-0 or something, I'd gladly accept.
Yeah, we can hope.
But they're just going to take everything away from us, Israel. Like, that record is more or less the only thing Inter has, like, in Serie A anymore. Apart from the treble. And that's just, they're going to take that away as well. And
yeah.
I don't know. Really, it's that time of the season again. I can't see it. Do you feel optimistic for like Champions League, or have you given up on that?
I still reckon we can keep. We're only 4 points off. I mean, obviously we've got to get a bit better.
Off third place, which isn't even Champions League for sure.
Yeah, well, I can't see us doing a Lazio getting kicked out in in the qualification rounds. The first couple games of the season are usually the games we do best in.
Yeah, maybe even if you get to qualification, Toyer will spend the cash or something like that.
Yeah, because that's all we need to get. I can't see us getting any further than that. Qualification, the group stage. Because
I think once we're in, it's like a completely different case. But
yeah,
like getting there is the hard part.
Yeah, it's odd.
But like, you still, do you think or do you believe that we'll make it?
I think we can still get it. I'm thinking obviously we've got Juventus, Roma, Milan. Actually, we've got all the tough teams to play apart from Fiorentina. Yeah. So, I don't know. Sometimes we do better against the tough teams. We can always hope that's the case this time. But they let us play their game and we don't do what we usually do and try and play the mix of Barcelona and us and end up with disasters.
Like, I don't know, some third league, sir. But yeah, Andysam, do you believe we'll still make Champions League or not really?
Yeah, I think we can do it. It's just that it's going to be hard. And the players, not just Mancini, but the players need to really put everything to make it. And if they start playing better, I think we're going to be able to get the Champions League.
Yeah, go on.
But I think in a few matches we're going to know, because if this doesn't change, it's just if we can in 3 matches play at least one good, I think we're not going to make it.
Granted, we're gonna play one against Juventus, so that may or may not. Juventus can be a make it or break it game, because they can crush us even more, or they can give us hope again, one or the other. Maybe we've had some really heartbreaking defeats in January. Which one was the worst for you? Was it like, I mean, we have to choose from the 3-0 from Juventus, the 3-0 from Milan, and like 1-0 from Sassuolo at home, which was heartbreaking for me, and like that 1-1 against Carpi, terrible as well.
Yeah, it's basically a loss.
Yeah. So which one did hurt the most?
I'd say the Milan one, because it's our closest rival. They're going through the exact same shit as we are.
Yeah.
But they seem to have got over it, and they're climbing back up the table. I mean, they're 2 points off us at the moment. But losing that really is a big worry. I mean, the Milan team's not great by any means.
Yeah, but...
And we should be beating them.
Yeah, and 3-0. Oh my.
It was, yeah, especially with the missed penalty as well.
Yeah, and it was so bad. Like, it could have been 1-1 at that point. Everything would have been different. But I feel like that's actually the point where we started like getting down. Say that penalty would have gone in, and we would have...
Wasn't the penalty at 3-0?
No, the penalty was when we were 1-0 down. Or wasn't it? I think it was.
We'll see.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure. Well, someone will correct us in the comments, I'm sure.
No, I won't allow that. I'm gonna watch it. So wait, here's the report. So 48 minute. Okay, so they were 1-0 up by like the first half, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, now this fucking website isn't working. Great. Well, whatever. Oh no, it is. There it goes. Yeah, so the penalty was Perisic, Brozovic, Santon.
It was at 1-0.
Yeah, it was at 1-0. So I was right. So
yeah, that gone in, that changes our season. In my opinion.
It can be like maybe we would have just lost 3-1 and not 3-0, but I don't believe that, because we were like getting our rhythm back when Icardi went in, which is completely stupid that he didn't play against Juventus or Milan, because he's like the old lady fucker. Why isn't he playing against Juventus?
Yeah,
I didn't even get why he was benched at all, because it wasn't like our other forwards were playing so well. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so maybe because you said the Milan game, and this time, did you say which game hurt you the most?
No, but I think it was the Juventus one, because I simply hate losing against Juventus, the worst. But also because we were doing like fine, and we did fine on the Napoli match and all that. So I thought we were going to do something better, and then everything went down, and we really screwed up. And then at the Milan one, I kind of saw it as a repeat of the Juventus match. I actually told my father, like, oh no, it's happening again. It's exactly the same thing that happened against Juventus.
Yeah, for me, the thing that was really that really struck me was Juventus was like completely dominating us with no effort, basically. Or not with no effort, but they weren't like playing their hearts out. They were just doing the regular game, and they were completely dominating us. which just showed me the difference in class there.
Yeah, it wasn't our finest moment.
I once wanted to talk about like Juventus, but I think that's a whole topic in itself, and we're already like at a good hour. So yeah, maybe I'll just stop it. Like, what do you think of the Champions League ties tomorrow? Who's gonna play?
It's Roma versus Madrid, isn't it? And
Is it
someone else.
Wait.
It's Bayern and Juventus.
No, it's Wolfsburg against Ghent.
Ghent,
Yeah.
that's it. Because Kevin B's going to that.
He's the only one that cares about that anyway.
Literally the only person on the phone.
Yeah, because
That's
it's
so
Kevin De Bruyne against his team. So yeah. So what do you think though for Rome? Will they be smashed?
Well, yeah, it's Roma. I reckon they'll be absolutely destroyed. They got destroyed against Barca
Bayern.
this season. Bayern last season. It's just... I'd put Real Madrid up there as one of the top 3 teams in Europe. The others being Barca and Bayern. So I don't see them getting anything out. This is where the Champions League stops.
Yeah, do you think it's gonna be?
And hopefully the season falls apart.
Yeah, we can
As it did
only
last
hope
year.
so much. Do you think it's gonna be like a 5-0 or more like a moderate 2-0, 3-1?
I can see it being a good 4-0.
Yeah.
Really hoping. Really
No, I hope for like
it's a 4-0.
6-0, something like that. Cristiano, come on, have a field day for once.
I know.
Like, really.
Oh,
Yeah, and
it's funny. Just saw he stormed out of a press conference because someone asked him about him not scoring for 4 away games. So he stormed out the press conference.
he's gonna be on fire. I hope he's gonna be on fire. That's what we need. We need a good Ronaldo right now. That's all. And yeah, so Bologna, not Bologna, Sampdoria. We were more or less optimistic, although Andysam in her dreams saw that Ranocchia header.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm actually like a Ranocchia header. I could see that as well, but I still believe it's like 2-1, 3-1 maybe. I hope so. And if it isn't, like, I just straight don't care. So yeah, I guess. Do you want to add anything to that, or?
No, it's been good so far.
Yeah, because I wouldn't like to make it too long. Maybe we can have another one in like 2 weeks again. And yeah, so nothing to add?
No, only that I'm sure we're going to win against Juventus. Yes.
You're sure?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
2-1.
I see a ban incoming if it doesn't happen. I see it. So okay, so I guess thanks a lot for participating to you two. You were
You're welcome.
actually not bailing out like some others. No, I'm not gonna blame it on him. Like he had like stuff to do. And and if the listeners made it this far, I thank you for listening. And I guess it's hard to say in this kind of days, but Forza Inter and
Yay!
and
Yeah,
Forza Inter and goodbye.